Hello, this is Karen Sant for Talking the Five, and we are with Ken Bennett, who is running for governor. So tell us, we're at an ice cream social in Apache Junction, and you came all the way out here for us. Thank you so much.
It's good to be here. I've been to Tucson already and back this morning. Got a thing out in the West Valley this evening. So why not come to Apache Junction in the middle of a nice, cool day?
Well, of course, you know, there's a huge, vicious, well, not vicious, but at least not yet, but it's a very competitive race this year. Tell me, we all want to know what makes you stand out from everybody else.
Well, I tell people two words: experience matters. There's a lot of good candidates in the race. Most of us have business experience, which I think is very important, that a governor understand how businesses work and have signed the fronts of checks, not just the backs of checks. A few of us have experience in other government levels. I was on a city council, and others have done something similar to that. The one thing I guess that distinguishes me is that I've been the CEO of the legislature. I was the president of the Senate, and one of the things that a governor has to do is work with the legislature. A governor doesn't get to do things alone. Almost everything they do has to, get through the legislature. And I proved during my 4 years as Senate president that we could bring people together and get things done. And we cut taxes by over $500 million. We balanced the budget. We got more money into education, though, and made sure that more of that money got into the classroom. We did some things to help secure the border. Unfortunately, Governor Napolitano vetoed that bill. But we did some other things and then left $1 billion in the state's rainy day fund. So I guess the one thing that I try to point out is that experience matters, and I'm the one of the 6 that has experience getting things done in the legislature.
Now, economics is usually 4 years behind. So so your legislation that you feel you helped pass during that time, that wasn't carried over into the times that were not so good. You feel that most of your voting and all that was during your term and helped the term ahead of you?
Well, the last time the state budget was balanced without temporary tax increases or accounting tricks and gimmicks was back in the 2007 budget, which was my last year as the Senate president. And so we worked with Democrats and Republicans. A lot of times they get things done in the legislature by getting 16 votes, which is the minimum you need out of 30 state senators. But we worked with the Republicans and Democrats, and we passed budgets with 24, 25, 26 votes, a majority of both Republicans and Democrats. But we never compromised our principles as conservatives. We got tax cuts. We eliminated accounting tricks and gimmicks. We also did some things that the other side wanted. We got more money into education, and we wanted some of that too. I had 3 children that went through the public school system, and our education system is an important part of our state government and local government as well. But, we got things done, and when I left, the budget was balanced, and we had $1 billion in the rainy day fund. Unfortunately, during the last couple years of the Napolitano administration, as the economy started to go down and the revenue went down, she kept the spending going up, and in about a year and a half, we had a $3 billion budget deficit. And Governor Brewer and the legislature since then have worked hard to get us back into balance, and we're almost there, but we're still overspending by about $400 million a year. So I think we need someone who has experience in balancing the state budget and also balancing it without taking money from the cities and towns and counties out in rural Arizona and local Arizona. $800 million of the money that the state has used to balance the budget over the last 5 or 6 years is money that they took from the local cities that the cities need to maintain their roads. So if you drive down Apache Trail, in Apache Junction, you can feel how much they miss those dollars that they should have been getting over the last few years to keep the local roads maintained.
Yeah, I know. I often wonder if it's my tires.
I don't think so.
Well, that's interesting. So where do you think we would cut the budget? And what do you feel about tax incentives? We've done a few businesses coming in here to help to promote more jobs and so forth. And there's talks about jobs bills. What's your side on that? And where do you think those all fit in our budget today?
Well, one of the most important things we need to do is grow the economy. and we need to do things that will help businesses stay and grow here and be successful, but also attract ones in from other parts of the country. And I'm not a big fan of giving big incentives to a few companies, and then when they come here, they have an advantage over everybody else that was already here. I'd much rather do broad-based economic policies that not only reward and attract the companies that we want to come here, but also provide the same benefit to the ones that are already here. So, for example, I think Arizona needs to be the 10th state. There's 9 others. I think Arizona needs to be the 10th state to eliminate the state income tax. And we should collect our taxes as people spend, just a low-rate, broad-based consumption tax. Yeah, we have a sales tax now, but it's on a few things and it's pretty high. If we tax a lower rate and broaden the base, then we can collect the same amount of money that we collect with income and sales taxes. And I think that would make Arizona more attractive to companies moving here and bringing good paying jobs here. We can get people back to work. Arizona lost about over 300,000 jobs during the economic downturn. And we have only recovered barely half of those. And a lot of those jobs are lower paying jobs than the ones that we lost. So we've got to get our economy growing, and one of those things is our tax policy. The other one is our education system. Businesses will not come here, and they can't be successful and stay here unless they know that the graduates coming out of our schools are ready to help make those businesses successful.
Well, yeah, we don't want them leaving either. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. It does no good to, throw a big incentive at a few companies to get them to come here and then lose, more leaving because of other reasons. So it's very important that we do things that
we just got video bombed. That's okay.
very important that we do things that not only attract other companies here, but reward the companies that are here already too.
Well, I think you got my vote. Well, I appreciate you, and you're very approachable. Unlike some other candidates, I would probably feel a little timid about approaching, but you seems very approachable, and we definitely want a governor who's approachable. Well,
I'm a fifth-generation Arizonan. Grew up in Prescott, born in Tucson. Grew up in our family oil gasoline business. We had gas stations and trucks. Here today is one of the truck drivers that used to work for us, Diane McGee. She lives out here in Apache Junction now, and she drove those big 18-wheel gasoline tankers that you see going up and down the road, which is what I did for my dad for many years as well. So I'm just a regular person that has been in the private business world for about 30 years, but also has done some public service things too. And I'm the Secretary of State now and have been for the last 5 years. I'm term limited from that office, cannot run again for Secretary of State. So I thought I'll run for governor and see if we can get Arizona back on track. Well, thank you so much, and we hope to see you later this year. All right. Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.